on, Bolt Nation? This is LaserBolt coming at you with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about what are the best weapons to use in Call of Duty Blackout. One of the biggest issues in Battle Royale games and Blackout in general is when you land, you will see a whole assortment of weapons. There's over 30 weapons that you're able to pick from, and determining which weapon is the one you should pick is going to be very crucial to your success in Call of Duty Blackout. Because remember, the biggest priority in the game mode is to survive, last the later rounds, and have enough arsenal and enough firepower to be able to win and get that victory. So today we're going to be talking about what are the best weapons, which weapons should you be looking forward to, or which weapons should you be looking out for. Also, which weapons should you be trading as you progress through the game, because what's going to happen is you're going to land in, you're going to pick up a weapon. Of course, that's the main objective, pick up a weapon as fast as you can. Sometimes you just pick any random weapon because you just want to make sure you have something to defend yourself with. But as the game progresses, you'll be killing people, you'll be moving to different areas, and these areas will have different weapons. Enemies might be dropping weapons after you kill them, and knowing which weapon to trade for is going to be very crucial to your success. So that's why I decided to make this video. Plus, a lot of you guys on stream have been asking me, Laser, what are the best weapons to use? What weapon should I use? So we're going to break that all down in today's video. So if you do like this video and find this video helpful and informative, do me the huge favor, guys. Support the channel by hitting that subscribe, turning on that notification, and dropping that like, so that way you guys can stay up to date to all the content that's coming your way and keeping you completely informed on everything that has to do with Call of Duty Blackout. So without further ado, guys, let's talk about these weapons. In Call of Duty Blackout, we have different categories for each weapon. I'm going to break each category one by one, but I'm going to list all the categories that we currently have as far as the weapon archetype. Of course, if this video is a little bit old and you're watching this like maybe 2 to 3 months from now, do keep in mind weapons might be getting added, so I will be making an update video. But as of right now, this is what we have. We have assault rifles, we have tactical rifles, we have shotguns, we have snipers, we have submachine guns, we have light machine guns, and we also have like grenade launchers and or rocket launchers. We also have pistols, and that about pretty much covers all the weapons types that we could probably get in the game. So let's go ahead and break each category down. Out of each category, I'll mention between 1 to 2 weapons that I think stand out in this category. And I will also have other future videos going on the best loadout for what particular type of game style, like in early game and end game. And I'll also have a different video talking about attachments, which weapons work with what attachments, which type of weapons are better with other attachments. I would have had included this in this video. I just didn't want to expand the video too much. Kind of just wanted to go over all the best weapons in each category. Now, another thing I did want to mention is the way I define best weapons is by two categories. The first one is going to be damage, how much damage the weapon does. And number 2, fire rate, because fire rate and damage coincide to how fast your time to kill is going to be. So that's how I manage which weapon is. And another one I want to throw in there that a lot of people don't include when they're viewing weapons is, of course, it's recoil, because controllable recoil is better than non-controllable recoil, even though the weapon might have to do a little bit less damage. So there's some weapons that I do take into account the recoil, where I put them above weapons that do a little bit more damage, but the weapon is just more friendlier and more easier to use. So let's get started with a category that doesn't really get used too much in the game because they're not in a really good state based on the other weapons that we have, and that is the pistol. But this doesn't mean that in the early stages of the game you won't land and this might be the only weapon type you find, and knowing which one to grab is going to be very helpful for you guys. So this is what we have. We have the first one category, which is the pistols. We have a total of 4, including the ray gun it would be 5, but we have a total of 4 weapons to pick from. We have the Strife, the Mozu, the Welling, and the RK7 Garrison. Now, out of all of these, the best weapon based on its high damage is definitely going to be the Mozu. The Mozu deals the most damage at a whopping 62. Technically, a player would spawn with 100 health. You deal 2 shots of this, and it's an automatic death. Now, the other weapon I do want to mention is the Strife. Now, the Strife is a weapon that does 46 damage, is a semi-automatic standard issue sidearm, so you'll be able to fire at a faster trigger than you would at the Mozu, but the Mozu would only take 2 shots. If you're in the game and you are trying to engage an enemy, definitely out of these 2, I would definitely pick the Strife. It is not only a little bit easier to handle, it has a little bit less of recoil, Plus, it's a lot more user-friendly to new players and also more experienced players. So definitely the Strife would be my number one category as far as the pistols are concerned. Nothing wrong with the Mozu, it's just a little bit harder for most people to use. Plus the damage, it does 62, and landing that second additional shot, the person could move out of the way or hide inside a area where you won't be able to land that additional shot and cost you maybe to getting killed by another different weapon. So definitely the Strife would be your number one option when it comes to this category of pistols. On to the second most uncommon used category, though, that is the light machine gun. There's a total of 4 weapons, including one that only drops when you kill zombies. We have the Titan. We have this Swellshellhender. I could have butchered this name, but I don't know. This one's definitely one you're able to pick up in zombies. The Hades and the VKM 750. Out of all these weapons, the highest damage one, the one that's going to cost the most bang for your buck, is the VKM 750, doing a whopping 62 damage when being shot. Now, the biggest problem with this weapon, it's not that great, even though it does that amount of damage. Recoil is really bad. Your mobility is going to be really bad with this weapon. So out of this one, the weapon I would definitely have to recommend is, of course, the Titan. Now, the Titan is by far a really good weapon in multiplayer, but it's not that great when it comes to Blackout. It has a really good reliable firepower. It has a large amount of ammo. Its recoil, it's more manageable than the majority of these weapons. The only other weapon I could maybe squeeze in here and say, okay, you could consider picking it up if you're not feel too good with the Titan, is the Hades. But overall, in general, the Titan kind of dominates this one, this category at the current moment. All right, so now into the good weapons, right? So the ones that most people are commonly using, and we're gonna start off with the submachine guns. So in the submachine gun category, we have a total of about 6 different weapons that we have, plus 2 weapons that are not officially out yet, but they will be out via zombie mode. Whenever we kill a zombie, it'll drop. So do keep that in mind. So we have the first 2 weapons I'm going to mention, is the ones that are available and the ones I recommend. So we have the MX9, the GKX, the Spitfire, the Cordite, the SOG 9mm, and the MP40. Now, out of all of these, the best ones I would definitely recommend. A lot of people like the Spitfire, but out of the Spitfire compared to the GKS, I would definitely give the GKS a higher advantage. The reason why I give the GKS a more of a higher advantage than the Spitfire is for 2 reasons. One, you get a little bit more damage, 28. The Spitfire does 27. The good thing about the GKS is the fact that it has a very low recoil, so the manageable shot on target is going to be more on point than you are with the Spitfire. Plus, you also have a little bit longer range than you do with the Spitfire. The only disadvantage that I see with the GKS is the amount of the ammo it takes. It takes 0.9 ammo. It's very hard to come by, and 0.45 Spitfire ammo is a lot easier to come by. The only advantage that the Spitfire has over the GKS is that it has a fast rate of fire, but overall in general, you're going to want to be more accurate, and you're going to want to have that less recoil, which is going to make sure that you're hitting your shots instead of missing shots, which to me and personally just gives it a better advantage than it does when you're using the Spitfire. So overall in general, submachine gun wise, I would definitely go with the GKS. Now onto everybody's beloved section, which is the sniper rifles. So the sniper rifles, we have a total of 4 different set of sniper rifles, plus a sniper rifle you're able to get off a zombie. So we have the Paladin, which is the 50 cal. We have the Kushka. We have the Outlaw, and we have the SDM, plus the Dracon, which is the one you're able to get from the zombies. Now, overall in damage, if we were just to go over what is the best sniper rifle that will put someone on the ground like right with one shot, of course it's going to be definitely have to be the Paladin. And if you ask a lot of people are going to tell you, hey, you know what? The Paladin's number 1. That's the best sniper in the game. There is a lot of drawbacks when it comes to the Paladin. It's a very high damaging weapon, or you shoot one and you land one, you're able to knock them down. But the thing is, how many of you are going to be super accurate to be landing consecutive one-hit kills or consecutive shots and hitting someone? It's going to be a very small percentage of the people who are playing. And there's really skilled players who every time they shoot, they'll hit someone, but not every single time. Not only that, but the reload speed on the Paladin is a little bit daunting, plus the handling is daunting as well. So in my personal point of view is, what do I think is going to be more lethal in case I miss a shot, or what would be the equivalent of lethal in case I don't hit that shot on target. Now, in the sniper realm, we have two contenders. We have the Kushka, the Outlaw, and of course the SDM. And I'll tell you why I'll include the SDM here, and a lot of people might shy away from this. So it's been very debatable which one I consider to be the best one. Is it the Kushka, or is it the the Outlaw or the SDM? Overall, in general, guys, right here, the one I would definitely put here is I would definitely go with the Outlaw. Now, if we take the damage from the Kushka is 120, the Outlaw is 110. The only reason that I put the Outlaw over the Kushka is just because it's a bolt action sniper rifle, and it has a really fast rechambering. So when you run out of ammo or when you miss shot, you'll be able to get back into the action a lot faster than you would with the Kushka. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with the Kushka. Sniper rifles, it's very hard to kind of say which one's better, which one's not better, because it's all going to be dependent on how many shots you're landing. But I want to give you guys the biggest advantage in case you're missing shots. So over all of these, the ones with the best advantage if you're missing shots is going to be the SDM, because the SDM is a semi-auto rifle, semi-auto sniper rifle, which fires really fast, and you'll be able to hit shots over and over and over if you're missing shots. But if you want to get that, high damage, and you want to get like best of both worlds, high damage, fast reloading, and shots being shot rapidly, definitely the Outlaw is the one I would go here. But I mean, this is very debatable. If you guys have one or the other that you prefer, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' input on which one you believe to be the best sniper, not including the Paladin, because everybody's going to say that was the best one just because it has really high damage. Now, as far as the shotgun category, we only really have two. We have the Moog 12, the SG12, and the 205 Bracky. This is one you're able to get from zombies, and you get the M1897, which is also dropped by zombies. Overall, in general, these, pretty much all these shotguns are very relatively the same. But if I had to pick one out of all of them that I believe is going to give you an advantage, definitely SG12. SG12 is a semi-auto, which has really high damage and really high recoil. But if you're shooting a shotgun, the majority of the time is going to be a one-hit kill, especially if they're really close quarter. And if you miss that shot, you'll be able to shoot that a second shot really, really fast. So by doubt, anybody asks you what's the best shotgun, SGS-12, the way to go. Nothing wrong with the Moog 12. It has really good damage. You only have two shots, so if you miss both shots, or if you're not able to land two shots, or if the person's wearing a really high armor and you really need to land those two shots, it's going to take a little bit longer than the SG-12. SG-12 all the way for shotgun. Now let's take a look at the tactical rifles. Now the tactical rifles, you're probably wondering, aren't they considered really assault rifles? Well, I'm going to tell you guys what's the difference between a tactical rifle and what is the difference between an assault rifle. So the biggest difference between both types, they're very much similar, but the biggest change between a tactical rifle is that not all of them are fully automatic. Usually every assault rifle will be fully automatic, as opposed to a tactical rifle. These are not fully automatic. There's sometimes 3 bursts, there's semi-automatic 4-round bursts. So it just depends on the different type of weapon type that you have. If you played other games, these are mostly considered pulse rifles, right? So you guys could get a better idea, or a scout rifle, so you guys could get an idea of what the difference is there. So we have a total of 4 weapons here. We have the Ogre DMR, we have the ABR, and we have the Swordfish. Now which ones out of these 3 is the best one? If you guys seen me play, I do run a lot of ABR. I love the ABR. ABR is like one of my favorite ones to use. It's a 3-round burst, mid-range accuracy. It has mid-range accuracy, and it's kind of like a pulse rifle, and I really like it a lot, but it's not the highest damage one. If I had to pick one out of all of these, I would definitely go with the Auger DMR. The reason I would go with the Auger DMR is because the DMR has really high damage. It has 62 damage, so technically, if you hit someone twice and they don't have a lot of armor, you'll be able to kill them with a 2 burst. And unfortunately, the ABR takes 3 shots to actually kill someone, so I would have to go with the one that has the faster time to kill. On top of that, it's a semi-auto rifle, so it's going to be firing at a rapid rate as opposed to a 3 burst. So I definitely would have to go. If I had to pick anyone here, the DMR would be my number 1. It's just very hard to come by. There's not too many laying down on the ground, and usually there's more ABRs in the ground, and nothing wrong with the ABR, but just the DMR, it just makes it's just a really good weapon. And last but not least, guys, let's talk about the most dominant class in Call of Duty Blackout, and that is the assault rifles. There is a ton of assault rifles. There's a bunch of them, and there's a lot of debate. Which one's better? Is the ICR better? Is the Rampart better? Is the Vape better? Is the Maddox better? Which one is better? So we have a couple of them. We have the ACR 7, the KN 57, the Rampart 17, the VPR KXG, and the Maddox RFB. Now, on this category, guys, it's very hard to pinpoint and say, yo, should be your go weapon, because loadout is very predominant in the way you're going to be approaching the game. Like I said, I will have a separate video talking about loadouts, what type of loadout you should definitely have at the early stages, what loadout you should have during mid stages, and what loadout you should have towards the end of the circle. That's going to be a separate video, and based on the specific loadout, it's going to be weapons that you're going to want to make sure you have in your inventory to, you know, make sure you have the advantage. Now, by starters, let's talk about which is the highest damage weapon you could possibly get that has the assault rifle. The highest damage weapon you could get in the assault rifle category is the Rampart with a whopping 46 damage. Really, really good damage, but this damage comes with a big hit of a very slow fire rate. So you're gonna it's kind of more like a pulse. It's like in between a pulse rifle, auto rifle, just that it's an automatic weapon, which makes it not too viable in my opinion. Now we have other different weapons. We have the ICR, which a lot of people profess by that this is the best weapon. We have the Vape, which a lot of people profess that this is the best weapon. And we have the Maddox, which is, you know, a lot of people say the Maddox is the way to go. Me personally, I definitely would have to just put two that I consider to be the best assault rifles right now in the game. The number one I would definitely put in this category, guys, is definitely the Vape KXG. Now this one comes with 37 damage. This has really good mobility, and it's really reliable damage. Like, it's constant hitting damage. Like, it hurts. Not only that, but it has a really good fire rate, and it has a really good shooting distance where you're going to be able to do short range and mid range with this weapon. Definitely assault rifle wise, this is definitely one to go with. Another weapon that I want to include in the mix is the Maddox RFB. Now this one unfortunately has really low damage. It comes with 32, but the reason why this has really low damage is because it has a really high fire rate and a lot of ammo. So technically what's going to happen with this weapon, you're going to want to use this weapon kind of like a shredder. This is just something that you want to spam the enemy with, and since it has a really high rate, the damage is not felt so much that's lower. It's just because you're going to be shooting so many bullets at a time. Not only that, but this is a really good weapon, especially for those 2v1 situations, because you're going to have a lot of ammo. You're going to be able to kill one guy and maybe switch up to the other guy and kill him and then reload. Unlike other weapons where you have to maybe land some shots and then reload and then, you know, fire deep, like, you know, start DPSing another person. With this one, you're able to do two players at a time without having to reload and causing that gap of you taking a break. Now, another weapon I want to include here in the mix, because a lot of people are saying, you know, there's still more room here, is definitely the ICR. The ICR is just by far a really, really good weapon. The reason why it's so good is because it has really low recoil, so your shots are going to be on point regardless of any situation. It has really good fire range and really good accuracy. Now, if I had to crown a winner on here, definitely the Vape would be the one I would crown the winner. It's by far my favorite assault rifle. I think it fares really well with the loadout I use, and definitely would recommend this overall. You can't go wrong with the Maddox, you can't go wrong with the ICR, but overall for me personally, definitely the Vape. If you guys liked this video and found it informative, do me the huge favor, guys, drop a like and share this video with your friends. If you guys feel that I didn't, you know, there's a weapon that you guys said like Laser, why didn't you mention this weapon? I think this weapon's really good. Also, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your feedback. Don't forget, guys, if you want to stay up to date to everything Blackout, make sure you guys keep it locked on this channel, and I will catch you guys on the next video.